The Democratic Party has a huge problem, and it has to do with trans people. So let me read part of this article from Axios, and we can talk about it. The Democratic Party has a problem. Democrats' potential 2028 contenders are cautious on trans rights. Republicans already promising to air 2028 campaign ads blasting Democrats over the party's support for trans rights. GOP candidates have been particularly aggressive with ads objecting to trans girls participating in high school girls' sports. So in 2024 alone, Republicans spent $230 million on anti-trans ads alone. Driving the news. Axios quizzed nearly 20 Democrats viewed as possible 2028 contenders. Most didn't want to talk about trans rights. We chose questions based on those that Democratic candidates up and down ballots have encountered in interviews and ads for years. We asked, should trans girls be able to participate in girls' sports? Do you believe trans youths under age 18 should be able to be placed on puberty blockers and hormones? And what is your response to the question, can a man become a woman? Oh my God. So Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, former Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel, and former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg were the only three potential contenders who shared answers. And I'm not even going to share their answers because their answers were weak. The pro-LGBTQ Human Rights Campaign just released a messaging playbook for candidates facing anti-trans criticism. It praises Abigail Spanberger's approach. A Spanberger ad said such claims were lies and that we need to get politics out of our schools and trust parents and local communities. The group Human Rights Campaign encourages contenders in the 2026 midterm elections to neutralize the attacks by going on the offense. That seems like common sense to me, but the big picture, most Americans support anti-discrimination protections for trans people, according to a Pew Research Center survey last year. And according to the Salt Lake Tribune, Utahns will again see a slate of bills from the GOP supermajority taking aim at trans people and abortion access in this year's session, setting up a possible fifth consecutive year of lawmakers restricting trans rights. Lee, the Layton Republican, who during his initial campaign for legislature was criticized for using a slur to describe trans people, he has introduced HB 183, which is a 6,600-line bill that would have sweeping impacts on the trans community in Utah. If passed, in addition to a plethora of other restrictions, it would effectively remove anti-discrimination protections for trans people, forbid Utahns from changing their gender on their birth certificate, bar employing transgender Utahns in some positions working with children, and require judges overseeing battles for custody of trans children to favor parents who refuse to support the child's gender identity. That is so goddamn unhealthy. These people are crazy. So again, here, the refusal to acknowledge reality keeps coming up again and again in the Republican Party. All major medical associations in the country, along with lawyers, teachers, doctors, therapists, psychiatrists, gender experts, sociologists, etc., they all agree transitioning and gender-affirming care is safe and effective for trans people, and for trans youth in particular, it is very life-saving. But Republicans are too far gone in their political and Christian nationalist cults to acknowledge the truth and reality here. We cannot have weak Democratic candidates that can't answer a question. That's the problem we're in right now. So Representative Nicolene Peck who's a Republican, wants to go even further by restricting trans adults' access to gender-affirming healthcare. Her proposal, HB 193, would prohibit public money from going towards trans hormone therapy or sex characteristic surgical procedures, similar to a bill that Peck unsuccessfully introduced last year. If passed, it would effectively ban government workers insured by their employer from using that coverage for gender-affirming care, block Medicaid recipients from treatment, and can close one of the largest trans health programs in the state at the University of Utah. So if you're in Utah, be on the lookout for this stuff. And stay safe, you guys. I will be back very soon with more news.